Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to season 14, episode 13 of Live with Fefe and Freddy. This is your Wednesday night conversation. And tonight it is just Freddy, no Fefe. She's work stuff, something totally fine. So it's just you and me in this casual one-on-one conversation. And I got some stuff to talk about. I mean, it could be anything. It is kind of just me. So I get to talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. First, let's go ahead and get some housekeeping stuff out of the way. Obviously, if you are not on our Patreon, why the hell not? You should be on our Patreon because you can get exclusive content like behind the scenes stuff, extras, anything that we decide to throw up there. We would like to thank our current patrons: Bill, Brandon, Cassandra, Chris and Michelle, Dee, Drake, Jensen and Michael, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Joan, Laura, Madam Askew and the Grand Arbiter, Nicole, Patricia Mason, and Shannon. We appreciate y'all so much. And you know, follow us, do the thing. It's patreon.com/live with Fefe and Freddy. You can join for free. We got free stuff up there. I have a whole bunch of recipes from last summer. If you're into cooking, if you like that sort of thing, you can join for as little as $1. You get access to a lot of stuff. $5 gets you access to even more stuff, 5 and up. And that's the sweet spot right there, 5 and up. That is the best place to be. Huge shout out, of course, to Wigs of a Kind, who continues to support us this season. Marissa's amazing. Most of the wigs that I wear, with the exception of a couple of the ones that you've seen that are kind of like, you can tell if it's not a Marissa wig. But other than that, if you see the wigs, like my really badass wigs, those are Marissa's and they are awesome. So regardless of whether you are a king, a queen, or something in between, if you need hair, I will always send you to Marissa because she will always get that shit done. And, if you want to be a supporter, if you want to sponsor us, we are always looking for sponsors. I will put your logo on a shirt or some shit. I will figure that shit out. Trust me. I have no problem. You know how they're like, there's a commercial where like they sell their child's name or something to like I have no problem doing that. I will sell my child's name for you to be a sponsor. No problem with that. None whatsoever. They'll get over it. It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. And if you want to sponsor us, if you want to just throw money in our direction, because why the hell not? PayPal.com/live with Fefe and Freddy. And you can, it's PayPal.me/live with Let's Have a Fefe. And send things our way. We're okay with this. If you want to be able to support us, we will happily take your money. Cash, checks, credit cards, EBT. Not picky. Definitely not picky. And right now, Marissa has a bunch of Valentine's Day wigs available on sale for a banging price. Go check out Wigs of a Kind, because trust me, some of these I'm like, oh my god, they defy gravity. Go do the thing. Go do the thing. So today is National Lego Day. Happy National Lego Day. For my fellow Lego nerds out there, does anybody have like a favorite Lego set or a favorite Lego collection or anything like that? Let me hear it, because I can't be the only Lego nerd out there. So put it in the thing. I'm gonna find me some. Let's find some good background music this evening. What do we got? What do we have here? What the fuck is that? That says R&B. I don't know about that. Let's try something different. We're going to find some good... We need some good background music here, I think. I'm going to find some good background music. I don't know what this is. We're going to go with this. They call it lounge. Lounge it is. Because, right now. It is a kickback, super chill, you know. And hey, Felicia. Felicia is obviously able to check in at home or online or wherever the hell she is right now, which is fantastic. Appreciate you. All right. My weekend. So let me just preface this by saying that my weekend was actually, it was relatively uneventful. It was one of those things where I didn't have anything on the calendar, and by not having anything on the calendar, it was one of those things where I'm like, oh my God, am I missing something? Because there's always seems to be something on the calendar. And when I don't have something on the calendar, I almost like have this thing where I'm going to get a message from somebody and they're going to be like, hey, where you at? I'm like, fuck. But no, super chill weekend. Friday was supposed to be sort of a casual date night with my partner and myself. Didn't go quite the way we planned it. So what happened was I accidentally roofied myself on Friday. It legitimately was an accident. It was not something that I had planned on doing, obviously. But we were going to spend a chill evening at home. We're going to break out one of our new board games, maybe play some video games. You know, it's just going to be fun. It was going to be chill. Totally fine. I'd kind of had a little bit of like a headache. So I have these new prescription headache meds. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to go shower, get comfy. I'm going to take a headache med, which I've taken them before. So it's not like it was the first time taking them. I wouldn't have done it if it was the first time of me taking it. So, you know, but figured let me take a headache med. Let me kind of head this off so it, you know, doesn't turn into a migraine. Let me, you know, so I felt I was being responsible. So I shower, I take my headache med, finish making dinner. I make us a couple of fun mixed drinks. And when I say mixed drinks, mine had very minimal alcohol in it. Anybody that knows me knows that I am not a huge drinker. And even if I make a mixed drink, I don't really want to taste the alcohol. So all the other stuff is going to overpower the alcohol because I don't like tasting the alcohol. So my mixed drink was really weak. But I also hadn't really eaten much all day, like at all. So I finished making dinner. I make our plates. We're sitting there eating dinner, no problem. And then we break out one of the board games. And we were on our second mixed drink. Again, mine was more mixer than anything. It had a little bit of alcohol, but not. My two mixed drinks probably didn't have nearly as much alcohol as one normal mixed drink. Like it's just not how I roll. So we're sitting there and we're getting the board set up and we're getting everything. I'm trying to read like the rules and how to set it up, and I'm like, this isn't. I was struggling. I was like, why can I not like read this right? And I'm like, here, you read it. So I pass it off to my partner. And she's reading, and I'm looking at these cards that have like words and stuff on them. And I'm like, I feel really tipsy. Like really tipsy. And it was the strangest thing. So I'm like, I don't get tipsy off of two extraordinarily weak mixed drinks. Like I can hold my alcohol better than that. Like I'm a lightweight. I'm not that much of a lightweight. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's because I waited too long to eat before having a mixed drink. Like I was like, it was really bizarre. And I was like, I can't do this. I cannot. My brain isn't, like, I was struggling. Like it was literally me trying to like look at stuff and I couldn't focus. I was like, this is awful. So And I was like, maybe we can try a video game. And she's like, no, there's no way. Look at you. There's no way. So we decided instead to watch the Interview with the Vampire series. Catch up on it. Okay, cool. So we're sitting there. I got comfy. I kept falling asleep. Like, falling asleep. Like, are you awake? I'm like, yes, I'm awake. What are you talking about? She's like, you are not fucking awake. You are, like, dead asleep. And yeah, it was, it was awful. It was not okay. I'm like, this was not how I wanted this evening to go. Whatever. So we finally went to bed. And I got to bed and basically just passed out. Like, there was... And then the next day, I'm thinking about it, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I was like, I wonder if it was the combination of the headache med with the alcohol, even though there wasn't that much alcohol. And I was like, oh, God damn it. I totally fucking roofied myself. So that was my embarrassing moment on the weekend of me literally roofing myself and spending the date night with my partner snoring next to her, holding her hand while we tried to watch Interview with the Vampire. Like, it was just not, it did not go the way I anticipated it going. It's fine. Saturday, I actually had the day to myself, which was, like, it's rare that I have a whole day to myself, but my partner was with my meta, her other partner. And so I decided that I was going to start making some limoncello. I have a lemon tree in my backyard that is a mutant lemon tree. This thing is a beast. Yeah, tell me about it. I failed. I failed hardcore. It was so dumb. I felt so stupid. But so Saturday I go out and I grab probably a good 3 dozen lemons from my tree. And just to give you an idea of how many lemons are on this tree currently, I took more. It was more than 3 dozen lemons. And then a couple weeks before, I had given 3 very large bags of lemons to people that were over. And then just the other day, I packed up another shopping bag, like a reusable shopping bag full of lemons for another friend. And there are still a fuck ton of lemons on this tree. So I got all of these lemons and I was sitting in my kitchen and I peeled all of them, which sucked because at some point I peeled my finger. So then I was trying to peel lemons with a cut on my finger. But I finally got it all done. I got it all peeled, and the peels are now sitting in a giant jar with 100 proof vodka and Everclear sitting on my kitchen counter. They're going to sit there for about another 4 or 5 weeks, if not longer. And then I juiced the peeled lemons and made lemonade and 2 types of simple syrup. Yeah, the lemonade's good. I made a strawberry ginger simple syrup, which that's good. And then just a plain simple syrup. And then Sunday, again, nothing really much during the day. And then we drove to Apache Junction to have dinner with my aunt and uncle, which is always interesting. And when I say Apache Junction, for the folks that are in Phoenix or in Arizona, they're in a nice part of Apache Junction. Their house was custom built. It's literally at the bottom of the foothills are the Superstitions. They're right there. The Superstitions are literally in their backyard. So hi, Brenda McGill. But that was fun. My family is interesting. I'm not particularly close to anyone. They're probably the people I'm closest to, I guess, in my family. And even with them literally living here, I maybe only see them a couple times a year. But they're good people. They're liberal, so I don't have to worry about dealing with right-wing bullshit. But again, let's be fair, if they were right-wingers, I wouldn't even see them because, Oh my God, Jesse, for fuck's sake, come get some lemons. I have a lot of lemons. I will give you lemons. I have so many. But that was fun. My uncle cooks. A lot of the men in my family cook, which is kind of where I get it, I think. But he made us dinner. My aunt made dessert. Bless her heart. She is not a cook, but she tries. But that was good. It was super chill. And then home and there we go. Lemon bar. Okay, I can only do so much with lemons. And then I start getting sick of lemon stuff. I already made a lemon buttermilk icebox pie. Then there's the lemonade, and then there's the things that I'll make. Okay, I will find a good recipe for lemon bars, and I will make lemon bars because I like lemon bars. I like lemon bars when they are not too sweet, when they're a little bit tart. I make good lemon bars. I'll find some lemon bars. I will make some lemon bars. I actually made a couple of years ago. I made cranberry lemon bars. Those things were amazing. Those things were so good. I have to find something because that was you had the lemons, which were a little bit sweet and a little bit tart, and then a little bit sweet and tart with the cranberries. I liked it. Some of my family were like, whatever, but I can't just live my life to please them. I will make Felicia lemon bars. But I will have to find a good recipe. I'll see if I can either remake those lemon bars. I can still find cranberries, I think. Or just find a good recipe for lemon bars. I will make that happen. So what the hell? Do you think this is fucking Burger King? You just have things your way, you're just gonna have some cranberry lemon bars but sugar free, bitch. You think I'm just gonna go and get some monk fruit extract or whatever to make you some fucking cranberry lemon bar? Good lord, man. Does it say personal chef on my forehead? Cause shit, it just thinks I've just gotta make things for them all the time. This is not Friendsgiving. Anyway, let me go on to my tip, which is not really a tip. It's gonna be whatever the fuck I feel like talking about. So all right, so welcome to my Just the Tip this evening, where I'm gonna talk about whatever I feel like talking about. I'm gonna preface this. I'm gonna say that, and I'm going to acknowledge that things are very heavy right now. We are literally watching federally sanctioned goons murder people in plain sight and then kind of laugh about it. And we're just supposed to sit back and accept it. Also, I need to acknowledge that while the two most recent murders by ICE are the ones that are getting the biggest headlines, we need to also recognize that I believe this year ICE has murdered 9 people total. The most recent just happened to be white, which is probably why they're getting most of the hype. But the previous 7 were, I believe, all people of color. And I had their names and I lost them, and I will try and find them before the end. But this is, this is not new. Anybody that says that this is unprecedented obviously doesn't know a goddamn thing about history. And it doesn't know a goddamn thing about American history, because none of this is unprecedented and none of this is new. It's literally just wearing a different costume. None of this isn't. We haven't changed. We haven't changed. This is just, another round of the same bullshit. So if anybody tries to say that this has never happened here before, it has, 100%. It's interesting how things like this can sort of unite people. And, all over it's unfortunate that it's things like this that tend to unite people. I wish that we could unite under better things, but that's not usually how that happens, unfortunately. But right now all over the country. People are coming out, they're protesting, they're marching. They are showing up where these fucking goons are and making things uncomfortable for them. Which, honestly, that's kind of one of the best things that we can do right now, is bully the bullies. Fuck them. We've already seen that calling them names makes them bigly mad. Like, they don't like being compared to thugs. They don't like being compared to Hitler's Gestapo. They don't like being compared to any of that. They don't like being called Trump's minions. You know, they don't like that. They're, you know, the fact that they're completely unqualified to do anything else, they don't like being reminded of that. They don't like having, you know, their inadequacies thrown back in their face. But so if you are planning on going to a protest, or, you know, if you're planning on making some signs and meeting them at any of the lovely places that they have been showing up, we've got some great names for them. If you want some good options, even for social media, protest signs, whatever it is that you would like to use for them. I enjoy Goodwill Gestapo because none of them look like they're in any sort of actual uniform. They look like they kind of went to Goodwill or like the surplus store and grabbed whatever they could. Most of it doesn't fit right because most of them would never pass a fucking fitness test for any sort of actual military service. I mean, and this isn't about body shaming. This isn't about fat shaming. This is about the fact that, you know, for things like law enforcement, for all this stuff, you know, you have to go and you have to go through physical tests. Some of these boys, no, honey, no, you know, so they go to Goodwill, they get, you know, whatever they can find, and you can see their shirts are a little tight, nothing, you know. Gravy Seals, that's another good one. Meal Team 6 is another good one. Vanilla ISIS is also one of my favorites. Because there's nothing that they love more than being compared to other terrorist organizations. So, you know, Goodwill Gestapo, Vanilla ISIS, those are my two favorites because they get ruffled. They don't like it. They will, you know, try to tell you that, you know, that's they don't like it. They will throw tantrums. It's not okay. And that just makes my little heart happy. Like, there's nothing that makes me happier than to see them get mad at some of the things that are written on some of the signs. I'm like, what? I mean, if you don't like the truth, then I don't know what to tell you, bub. Like, maybe find a different vocation, you know, maybe do something that makes you more qualified for something else instead of being a federal goon. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Do better. Not my fucking problem. There's always some great, you know, nobody out there, I'm gonna say it one time, nobody out there wants to say Trump's name because nobody wants to give him any more press. No one wants to give him, you know, the attention. No one wants to. So there's been some great nicknames, shall we say, for him. The Cheeto in Charge is always a good one. I enjoy that one. There's a couple ones that I found that are new to me, and I think they're great. And now I have to tell you that a lot of these names you can tell that the nerds have come out because, let me tell you, Mind Failure is great. The Clementine Caligula. You have to know your history for that one. To know your history for that one. If you don't know who Caligula is, go do the Google. An infamous Roman emperor who was a little fucking crazy and a tyrant and just go. It's interesting. An interesting character. This one is actually one of my new favorites. I enjoy this one. The Tangerine Palpatine. It's nice. It rhymes. Rolls off the tongue nicely. I think it's you know, I think it adds a little something. Definitely got the Star Wars nerds in on that one. Twitler is one of my favorite, another one of my favorites. That's a good, just short, Shitler, I've heard that one as well. The Trekkies got in on this one. The Kumquat Gull Ducat. That's another fun one. Got a little rhymey thing happening there. Darth Marmalade is a good one. Resident Chump. This is a good one. This got some Lord of the Rings flavor to it. Seditious Saruman. Yup. Mango Mussolini. Cheeto Benito. If you're not, again, please, Benito is the Mussolini reference. Benito Mussolini, Italian dictator during World War II. Please know your history. And Phantom Menace is another great one. I love the nerdy ones. They're like, that's because the nerds come out to play and they're like, no, bitch, man. Because you see some of these people writing some things and they're like, we're the Jedis, you're the Stormtroopers. It's like, no, you are the fucking Stormtroopers. What are you talking about? And remember, you always lose. So you are the ones that are on the wrong side of history. Definitely not us. And on sort of along those lines, I have seen a few folks get very heated on the socials, saying things like, if I don't see you speak up, then I'm going to assume you're a fascist. Here's the problem with that. There's a couple of them. Not everyone is on social media all that much. The algorithm doesn't always show you everything. And just because someone isn't posting fuck ICE 24/7 doesn't mean they're a fascist or that they're not doing anything. Like, I literally see like the same 4 people on my feed because the algorithm is fucking dumb. And I'm not going to go to every single person on my friends list. I'm not going to go track down their profile to see, are they posting about this? Have they said anything against ICE? Like, because if not, then they're obviously fascist. It's like, that's not how that works. Be careful who you condemn as a fascist because they're not doing what you think they should be doing. And we've had this conversation before. We have talked about how some people are like, well, if you're not protesting this way, or if you're not, doing things the way that I think you're doing, then you're obviously, against me. And it's like, no, not everybody is able to go to the protests. So you can't be like, well, if you're not going to the protest, then you're obviously a fascist. That's not how that works either. But people are doing things in different ways. Like, we talk a lot about it on this show, but unless you watch or listen to the podcast, you wouldn't know that. Like, we use this platform to be able to speak out and to educate and things like that. And not everybody listens. Not everybody watches. You don't have to. I'm not going to call you a fascist because you don't watch my fucking show. But you also can't flip that around and call me a fascist because you don't watch the show, therefore you don't know what we talk about on here. You know what I mean? Like, we talk about this a lot. And that's another thing. Jobs. Like, not everybody can post things because of their jobs. And, if you're just going to say, well, fuck your job, you should be better than that. No. That is a privilege that most people do not have. I have a lot of privilege. That is one privilege I do not have. I can't just be running off at the mouth and be fine if I lose my job, because I have kids that need to eat. I have animals that need to eat. I have bills to pay. I have a mortgage to pay. And to just say, well, fuck all of that, I'm going to do what I want. If I lose my job, that's unrealistic. People have to take care of themselves. And not everybody, like, I have different profiles that can't be, traced back to me. But, somebody we're going to go search, whatever. But even then, like, you don't want to put yourself at risk to the point where you're not taking care of the things that you need to take care of. If I lose my job because of that and the burden falls onto my partner, that's irresponsible. That is awfully irresponsible, and it's not fair to my partner. So, no, like, that's not, that's not a good sort of, expectation. One of the things that we do here, even though we don't post about shit all the fucking time, and we post a lot, like, I post a lot of stuff. I do. I don't post every day because sometimes it's like I don't want to post every day. It's like sometimes I need to process, but we talk about what's happening with our kids. We make sure that, or we do our best anyway, to make sure that they understand what's going on and how it affects this family, and to understand the privilege that they have. Like the fact that they're gonna, that if you think that they're just going for the black and brown people and everybody else is safe, nah, you're next. And I am part of a marginalized group. I'm part of a couple marginalized groups. Yes, I am white. Yes, I am cis assumed, and I do have male privilege. I have a lot of privilege in this, and we've talked about this before. But I'm also trans. That, and you can look up public records. If you look at my social security number, you can see that the name I have now is not the name that I had before. So if they decide to start pulling shit, I could end up on a list. Like, my passport expires next year, and I'm nervous about trying to renew it because I don't know what's going to come back to me. I don't know if it's going to be all correct. I don't know if I'm going to get it back and the gender marker is going to be different. Like, I don't know. I could be on, so it's like, we don't know. We never know. So, we try to educate our kids. We try to, make sure that they understand that this isn't just a them thing. One of our kids is he's darker complected than anybody else. He's got dark hair. He's way more brown than pretty much anybody in this family. And we've let him know that you need to be mindful, because right now they don't care. They don't give a fuck whether you are a citizen, whether you were born here, whether you are white as fuck, but you just happen to have like Italian roots or something, and you're, they don't care. They see brown, they think that you're probably illegal or you're a criminal or whatever, and they don't care. So we've tried to help him understand that he needs to be mindful of what he's doing. His girlfriend's family could be at risk. His friend's family could be at risk. This isn't just a them thing. This affects people that are close to you, So it's like you have to be mindful of it. Am I posting about things 24/7? No. Does it make me a fascist? Absolutely not. So don't make assumptions. And this, we've talked about this too, when you start to alienate people for not protesting or speaking up or doing the things that you think that they should be doing, that is how you lose allies, and regardless of what community it is, just like within the trans community or the LGBTQ plus community, it's like not everybody is out, not everybody is able to be out. If you start condemning people for not being who you think they should be, then you start pushing people away. And we need people to be able to stand up right now. Like you need to be able to have people that are willing to fight, because not everybody's going to be able to. And it is scary right now working in schools, and they're with the fucking Goodwill Gestapo targeting everything from schools to medical facilities to whatever. My partner works in a place that could very easily be targeted, which is like, my area that I live in is very not gentrified. I have on either side of my house, I have, two extended, Hispanic families that I don't know what their status is, and I don't give a fuck what their status is. It doesn't affect me at all. It makes no difference to me what their fucking status is. They're fucking people. The neighbor on one side is one of the hardest working people I have ever met. He is constantly working on his shit. That's more than the fucking white folks across the way that do nothing, but pretty sure they're peddling meth, because I've never seen so many cars that like pull up, someone gets out, they go to the house, they're there for 10 minutes, they come back, they leave. Like, come on, man. Like, we know what you're doing, right? You're not selling Girl Scout cookies. Like, meanwhile, the neighbors on either side bust their ass for their families. So it's like, no, I don't care what your fucking immigration status is. I think it's bullshit. It's all a bunch of horse shit. If you're a criminal, then you should be, if you're committing heinous crimes, if you are out there murdering and assaulting people and whatever, then yeah, you should probably be punished for it. But that is, regardless of immigration status. Look at our fucking Cheeto in charge. Like, for fuck's sake, he's a fucking 39-time felon. Like, for God's sakes, like, if you're gonna be going after criminals, call is coming from inside the house, y'all. Like, ugh, yeah. So don't be judging people on what they post or don't post. I mean, obviously, if they're like pro-ICE, then call them what it is. They're fucking fascists. At this point, there is no gray area. Like, it's not even about politics anymore. Now it's just basic human decency. So call out the fascists, call out the Nazi sympathizers, because that's what they are at this point. There's no excuse. There's no, like, that's what they are. Call a spade a spade. And if they don't like it, if they get all defensive, it's because they know that there's truth to that shit, because there's no argument for it. There is zero argument for it. And yeah, criminals are criminals. Doesn't matter who they are. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're doing, and let me say that when it comes to some of the petty shit, it's like I don't care. You're gonna shoplift food, go right on ahead. I don't blame you. It's the bad stuff that I'm like, let's not go murdering people. Let's not go raping people. Let's not harm children. Let's not, these things. Those are the things that need to be taken care of. The other petty shit, I don't give a fuck. It's whatever. Capitalism is bullshit. People can't afford to eat, so people are stealing food. No, they're not. So, just be mindful and don't judge to the point where you're gonna alienate everybody, because we need to be able to have allies. We need people that are able to go and stand up when others can't. So All right, let's move on to some current events and newsy stuff. Okay, I have some interesting things to talk about this evening. Everything is just a fucking mess. So, for those of you that weren't aware, like if you've been hiding under a rock, TikTok was purchased by a U.S. company that is Trump-backed, and it is already proving to suck balls. Casual users and influencers alike have been experiencing technical issues with posting, few to no views on posts, etc. And while the general consensus is that the platform is suppressing anything that doesn't align with the current regime, TikTok itself said that there was a power outage at a data center. Even so, numerous users have already removed themselves from the platform. Hi, Salem. So, yeah, I noticed this. Like, I knew that the sale was happening. I forgot it was happening. And I posted a video, and there were some technical issues. I was like, what the fuck? This isn't working. And now, mind you, I do not have thousands and thousands of followers on TikTok, and I never get like millions of views, but I average usually around 400 or 500 views on videos and stuff. Some are more, some are less, but on average, it's a few hundred, and usually within a couple hours, I've hit at least 100 views. I had 0 views on this video for almost 24 hours. I was like, what the fuck? It was bizarre. Plus, they've limited the number of hashtags that you can use on a post, and now Instagram is doing the same thing, where they're limiting you to, I think, 5 hashtags on a post, which is like, we're trying to streamline the blah blah blah. It's like, bitch, please. No, you're not trying to streamline anything. You're trying to minimize, and you're trying to censor. That's exactly what's happening, and it's all shit. And I know a lot of people have already bounced from TikTok. It's all going to shit. Anything that is Trump backed, is going to be censored. That they're going to go after people. That they're going to cherry pick what is seen and what isn't. Power outage my ass. Oscar nominations are out. People are really pissed that Wicked for Good didn't get a single nod. But, okay, let's be real, folks. The first film received 10 nominations, and honestly, it's basically one movie. You're not going to, the Tonys, you're not going to nominate, Act 1, but not Act 2. Or you're not going to nominate Act 2, but not Act 1. You know what I mean? No, it's a play as a whole. And it's one fucking movie. It's not a sequel. It's a continuation. I didn't think it warranted any nominations. I was like, you guys had 10 nominations the first round. I really don't think it's necessary to have more this time around. I don't know. I'm sure people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but I don't know. There were better movies. Speaking of better movies, Frankenstein and Sinners, which if you haven't seen those movies, you need to go watch those movies. They are both absolutely phenomenal, from just all of them. Both movies in their entirety are so fucking fantastic. And if you are one of those people that are going to say no, then I'm just going to say that you have no idea what a good movie is. And you have no idea what art is, and I'm gonna call it out. Both of those movies have snagged multiple nominations at the Oscars. Best Picture for both of them. Best Actor, Sinners. Supporting Actor for both. Supporting Actress for Sinners. Cinematography for both. Costume design for both. Editing with Sinners. Casting for Sinners. Makeup and hair for Frankenstein. Original score for both. Original song for Sinners, and more. Like, they, between the two of them, it, like, they should, between the two of them, they should sweep the Oscars, like, legitimately. Like, they're both so good, and they deserve every single nomination that they got. There's some of the movies on there that I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I've never heard of this movie, which, yeah, it's fine. There's a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and I'm like, okay, why are we nominating groomers? I'm just gonna call it what it is. And oh, okay, so get this. Apparently, the rules have changed, and now the voting members in the Academy must watch every film in a nominated category before casting their vote. Why? What? So you're telling me that this was not a rule before? That you are on the... You are a voting member in the Academy, and you can vote for films in a category, but not actually have watched the films in a category? That sounds like some bullshit. And that should not be a thing. I feel like there needs to be, like, I don't know, like, they all need to be in a room watching it so that you can verify that they've watched these movies. Because why would you allow that's like, that would be like me judging a pageant, but I'm only going to watch the one contestant that I'm interested in, and then I'm not going to watch the other ones, and then I'm just going to score accordingly. Like, what? How are you not... I don't understand how this wasn't a rule. How are you going to vote on something if you've never seen the things that they're competing against? Like, if you're like that, I don't know. That just seems sketchy as fuck, and I don't understand why that was never a rule before. Like, that just seems very odd to me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know how that goes. How do you... How? I don't know. Here in Arizona, the Goodwill Gestapo raided all of the Zips locations in Phoenix on Monday. And protesters, as soon as they heard about it, people showed up at pretty much every location. They were recording, documenting all of it. And I fucking love that. Like, it literally took... It was a matter of minutes, I think, honestly, where the alerts started going out on everything from social media to like the Nextdoor app, different things like that. Every possible thing was showing that they were raiding Zips, and it was minutes before we saw like protesters showing up. And good on fucking them. There's a Zips. There's two Zips right around the corner from where we live, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's absolutely insane, but I am so stoked that people are able to mobilize within a matter of minutes to get to these places. And it's scary. There's the one Zips over on Central is right around, it's in the same complex right around the corner from Cobalt, which is an LGBTQ bar. So, like, it's things are literally getting close to home. you know, and I'm loving that it takes just a matter of minutes for folks to be able to be like, all right, I got my signs, I got my phone, let's go do this. And they jump in their fucking cars, they walk across the street, they leave their apartment buildings, whatever it is that they're doing, they are right there. And I fucking love it. And I saw a thing today where they were talking about protesters, and you know, they're showing pictures and videos of protesters showing up with weapons, with guns. And you know, it's like, look, you can't expect peaceful protesters when you have taken away that idea of peace. This is on you. You have already proven that we can't protest peacefully because you are putting us at risk, and not just with rubber bullets and, you know, pepper spray anymore. Now it's you are literally just killing protesters and killing people for no reason. So we're gonna show up armed, and I kind of love this because it is making the right wing go batshit crazy. Because, you know, they're all about the Second Amendment, blah blah blah, right? And now they're like, no, you can't show up, you know, armed to a protest. Oh, you can't? But what about Kyle Rittenhouse, who literally showed up at a protest with an AK-47 and shot a bunch of people, and people called him a hero? So that's okay, but we can't show up with a weapon? Like, no. And you can't have it. Well, you know, and then they start, it's like, well, either it's the right to bear arms or it's not the right to bear arms. And when you have the NRA that chimes in on this shit, that's when you know you've done pissed people off. Like, when you have the NRA that's chiming in and going, no, you can't say that what he was doing was illegal when, you know, blah blah blah. When you have the NRA on the side of the protesters, whoo, like, it's things have gotten interesting, and I think they're going to continue to get interesting. And I am not suggesting that anyone show up with a weapon, just because we've already seen that it antagonizes them. Vanilla ISIS does not like it when someone is exercising their rights, whether it is the right to bear arms, whether it is the right to a peaceful protest. They don't like that. So just, if you are choosing to go to a protest and you are choosing to carry, and in Arizona we have open carry laws. You can carry whatever the fuck you want if it's out in plain sight. You only have to have a permit for a concealed carry. But for an open carry, that's why people here can show up any type of weapon as long as it's out in the open. You want to carry a machete, carry it out in the open. You want to carry a fucking bazooka, as long as it's out in the open, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. But just be mindful that if you are going to show up at a protest with a weapon, that you could potentially antagonize these fucking goons, and they could escalate. So just be mindful. I am all for it. Exercise that fucking Second Amendment right. We have the castle doctrine here in Arizona, which means that if someone tries to come into my house, I can shoot them. I don't have a gun. Maybe I should get a gun. We've talked about it. I don't know. But I have the right to defend my house. So if anybody tries to come in illegally, I can shoot them and basically be fine. But just please be careful if you are out there. If you're out there protesting, if you decide to carry, bring weapons, whatever it is, just please be careful. There are a lot of ways to be, make sure to, keep yourself safe. there are some good, maybe we'll cover that next week. Tips and tricks, protesting, things to do, things to not do when you are protesting. I think that's a maybe important thing. We should do that next week. But just please be careful out there. Go with a buddy. Please don't go by yourself. Make sure that people know where you are. Have location turned on, whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that people can find you. And if things go south, there is no shame in running, because you again need to take care of yourself. Especially if if you are a parent, if you are a caretaker or caregiver, there is no shame in taking off if you need to take off. Like that's, yeah. I remember a few years ago, I remember marching for Black Lives Matter, and we were marching, we were in the thick of it, and then they started bringing out the tear gas and the rubber bullets, and we were like, nope, all right, we're done, we're out. So we were out, and we were dodging, we were heading down like alleyways and side streets, trying to avoid the cops in downtown Phoenix. It was interesting. It was interesting, kind of scary, and but like, I'm not going to let somebody shame me for not hanging around so I get shot. You know what I mean? Like, we were like, no, we gotta go. So, but, all right, let's see. What do we have coming up? Felicia on February 12th, which is right around the corner. I keep forgetting that's almost February. Felicia has a Queen of Hearts themed drag bingo at Drink Me Tea Room. If you go to, I believe, Drink Me Tea Room's socials and website, you should be able to get tickets for that there. On February 28th, we have our Drag Story Hour 7-year anniversary fundraiser. This is our big annual fundraiser. And if you want to buy tickets, you can scan the little QR code down here. If you want to, you could use the little, the link. And if you use the code LIVE2026, you can get 20% off of your tickets. And we are still looking for sponsors. If you want to help sponsor, if you want to donate a raffle prize, a raffle basket, whatever, a good service, we are not picky. Contact myself. I'm the best person to contact for that. And I will make sure that you get all the info and that we get you set up. This is like our big annual, like once a year, this is our big fundraiser. It's this fundraiser that allows us to basically take care of the programming for the rest of the year. So this is our big one. Plus 7 years, like that's a big deal. We've managed to push through all the bullshit. And happening in March on the 20th, Friday, March 20th, myself and a few other amazing entertainers will be at the Wild Wild West Steampunk Convention in Tucson for the Drag and Burlesque show, which is super exciting. It is going to be at the Westward Look Resort this year, and tickets for that should be going on sale very soon, I hope. But you can go to the show without being a part of the con. So you don't have to get tickets for the con to see the show. You can get tickets for the show separately if you're in Tucson, or even if you're in Phoenix and you want to head down to Tucson to see it. It's a great cast, and it's going to be a really, really good show. I'm very excited for it. And then on April 17th, and look, I get it. Why am I telling you these things ahead of time? So that you can plan accordingly. Put it in your calendar. Get tickets early. Because on 4/17, we've got Drag Bingo and Cats at the Phoenix Cat Cafe. They do sell out very quickly. Very quickly. So make sure that if you want to go to Drag Bingo and Cats, that you get your tickets before April 17th. Because don't come the week of and go, I don't know, everything's sold out. It will sell out. And we tend to sell out early on the Drag Bingo and Cats. So if you're interested, get those tickets as soon as possible. And remember that, Felicia and I are both available for any sort of parties, gigs, whatever, MCs, hosting, bingo, trivia, you name it, we got it. I'm also ordained, so is Felicia, so we can run your wedding. You can get a nifty deal where I can do the wedding and Felicia can take pictures. We've actually done that before. So there are options, and we do all sorts of things. We are not picky. We will do anything for $1 because, totally fine. Anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with me this evening. I think I did all right. Managed to keep things lively, I think. See? Told you. People always say, I want to go, and then they never did. Because we always sold out. So, And now she lives in Austin, and has just, that's it, That's it. That's what happens. Make sure that you follow both Felicia and myself and the show on all the socials, and be sure to check out our Patreon. You should check out our Patreon. Go do the thing, and we will catch you. Ooh, I've lost the button. There's the button. It's fine. I got you. I'm here. We will catch you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. Good night.